How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kim Kardashian going on Jimmy Kimmel's show and their dialogue about Donald Trump. Now, the reason why she was there on Jimmy Kimmel's show was to do some media, some press for the upcoming 15th, and you heard me right, the 15th season premiere of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's why she was there. This is a media run that she's on right now. But of course, Kim Kardashian was at the Oval Office recently due to trying to get Alice Marie Johnson, a black woman who had been in jail for like 21 years on the first-time drug offense. Now, like I said before, I don't have any sympathy for Alice Marie Johnson because she was involved with a multi-million-dollar crime thing, or at least a $4 or $5 million cocaine operation. So I don't have sympathy for her. But Kim Kardashian went to the White House and was like, hey, she's been in jail for a long time, first time offense. Can we get her some clemency? Can we get her a pardon? What can you do? 1 week later, Alice Marie Johnson was free. So, of course, Kim Kardashian has been linked to Trump. And then, of course, her husband is Kanye West. And we all know about Kanye West and Trump and how they've had kind of a romance or what have you over the years. Kimmel and many other late night talk show hosts, if not all the late night talk show hosts, unfortunately, have basically gotten to this whole thing of bagging on Trump anytime they can. That seems to be their bread and butter at this point. It's very sad. I would like to see some more original content, not so much politically driven and hate driven against Trump. I think out of all of them, Kimmel was like in the middle of the road as far as his hate level. Fallon is kind of low because he had that one show where he played with Trump's hair. Like, people said he humanized him. And ever since then, he kind of went a little against Trump, but not really. And Stephen Colbert is like to the next level. He's way far and beyond what you would expect from a normal human being to behave. He's almost like Keith Olbermann with the anti-Trump rhetoric. It's to the point where it's Starker level, but I digress. Kimmel's right in the center, but he does do a lot of anti-Trump rhetoric. So during this interview with Kim Kardashian, he threw everything he could at the wall. Everything. He was making all kind of jokes because he asked Kim, at what point did you realize that Alice Marie Johnson had been freed? And she said 1 week later. And he said, well, how did you find out? When he asked that question, I knew that he was trying to insinuate or trying to lead her to saying that she found out through Twitter or through the media that Trump didn't call her. But to his surprise, not to mine, she said that he called me. And then he asked, well, when did he call you? What were you doing? And she said she was in the middle of a photo shoot, and it was practically a nude photo shoot. So then he was trying to say, did Trump know you were nude? And he would have freed the whole jail. Just really trying to throw little digs any chance he could. Any opening that was available, even if it was not an opening, he tried to make to throw on the Trump jab. And I'll place that full interview in the box if you're curious to see it. But I basically summed it up. Throughout the entire interview, it was him trying to bag on Trump, not congratulating Trump and her for getting this woman freed. It was more about just trying to bag on him. Now, he did ask her if there was anyone else that, may be in the running to try and apply for some kind of clemency. And she said yes. And she gets letters every day, every week from people, and she reads all of them while she's doing the makeup. But aside from that, you already know what it was. Now, at a certain point, I think Kim pretty much knew what was going on. I'm pretty sure she knew what would happen before she actually went to the interview. She knows who Kimmel is. Her people know who he is. So she was probably prepped before the whole situation went down. And she said,
I have nothing bad to say about the president.
She understands what needs to happen here. It's not about just trying to hate on somebody or get you with the gotchas. It's about if I disagree with you or agree with you. And she said that she's not necessarily agreeing with everything Trump does. Neither does Kanye, her husband. Although everybody would think that Kanye just agrees with everything that Trump talks about. It's about just getting things done. It doesn't matter if I love you or if I hate you. Let's come to the table, put differences aside, and get some things actually done. See, Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert, all these people, they're more interested in creating division rather than creating unity. And then they claim they are the people who are all about tolerance and all this and that. They only are agents of division. People like Kim and Kanye are good role models, just role models for being able to bring people together. Now, are they perfect people? Of course not. But find me a perfect person on this planet. There's no Jesus Christ walking around that can claim that. Everybody has flaws. Everybody's imperfect. But I think the end game should be for all of us to at least come to one accord, which should be peace among us all. So what do you think? Do you think that Jimmy Kimmel had an extra grind against Trump and didn't really care about what Kim Kardashian was saying, didn't really care about the good that came of the meeting between her and Donald Trump? He was more interested in salacious headlines and stuff like that, trying to make jokes, trying to dig. One thing I got to say before I close out here, every time Kim will try to make some kind of joke against Trump or say something bad, Kim wasn't really feeling it. She was just kind of like, not really saying anything, because she knows what's at stake. Why would you go against this guy who has the power to actually make positive change? What's the point in doing that? You got to create allies rather than creating enemies. People like Kimmel, Fallon, all these other people, they're more interested in their ratings and their talk show and misinforming people. A lot of what's happening right now, people that are against ICE, they're against the president, they're looking at too much television, and the television includes the mainstream media, late night talk shows, all these people who have opinions that they constantly push that are really backed by special interests. Because let's be clear, if all of Jimmy Kimmel's advertisers was to say, you know what, we don't like what you're doing about Trump, we need to do something different, we need you to back off, he would back off, because at the end of the day, money talks, everything else walks. So all this rhetoric, all this tough guy talk would be gone if the advertisers would have stepped in and be like, we need you to pump the brakes. I think that's also what's going on with social media, which is what I talked about in the previous video. You're coming after conservatives, shadow banning, all these different things. Now, of course, you're going to lose revenue. Now you got to change course. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe if the revenue hits target some of these late night talk shows, they may reverse course, but maybe they won't, because I think they found a niche for themselves that they feel comfortable in doing, even if it alienates a lot of viewers. Maybe they think they'll be able to make up for the lost people and the new people they gain, and also the new advertisers they gain. But hey, gotta make money. It's all about the mighty dollar. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I gotta say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.